So much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Conyers, thank you for hosting this conversation and for helping us all talk about an issue that I believe is the hardest issue I've confronted in government, which is how to balance the privacy we so treasure that comes to us through the technology that we love, and also achieve public safety, which we also all very much treasure. I worry a little bit that we've been talking past each other, both folks in the government and folks in the private sector, when it comes to this question of encryption, which we in the government call going dark. What I'd like to do is just take 3 or 4 minutes and try to frame how I think about it, that in a way I hope is fair-minded, and if it's not, I hope you'll poke at me and tell me where you think it's not. But these are the things I believe to be true. First, that the logic of encryption will bring us, in the not-too-distant future, to a place where all of our conversations and all of our papers and effects are entirely private. That is, where no one can listen to our conversations, read our text, read our emails, unless we say so, and no one can look at our stuff, read our documents, read things we file away without our agreement. That's the first thing I believe, that the logic of encryption is taking us there. The second thing I believe is, as both you and Mr. Conyers said, there's a lot of good about this, a lot of benefits to this. All of us will be able to keep private and keep protected from thieves of all kinds the things that matter most to us: our ideas, our innovation, our secret thoughts, our hopes, our dreams. There is a lot to love about this. We will all be able to have storage spaces in our life that nobody else can get into. The third thing I believe is that there are many costs to this. For the last 2 centuries, public safety in this country has depended in large measure on the ability of law enforcement agents going to courts and obtaining warrants to look in storage areas or apartments or to listen with appropriate predication and oversight to conversations. That is the way in which law enforcement brings us public safety. It is very, very important, and it's been part of the balance in ordered liberty, right? That sometimes the people's stuff can be looked at, but only with predication and only with oversight and approval by an independent judiciary. The fourth thing I believe is that these 2 things are in tension in many contexts, increasingly in our national security work and in law enforcement work generally across the country. We see it obviously in ISIL's efforts to reach into this country and using mobile messaging apps that are end-to-end encrypted, task people to kill innocent people in the United States. That is a huge feature of our national security work and a major impediment to our counterterrorism work, because even with a court order, what we get is unreadable. To use a technical term, it's gobbledygook, right? We cannot decrypt that which is covered by strong encryption. We also see it in criminal work across the country. See very tragically last year in Baton Rouge, where a pregnant woman, 8 months pregnant, was killed by somebody she opened the door to, and her mom says she kept a diary, but it's on her phone, which is locked. And so the case remains unsolved. And most recently and most prominently, as both Mr. Conyers and Chairman mentioned, we see it in San Bernardino, a case where 2 terrorists in the name of ISIL killed 14 people and wounded 22 others at an office gathering and left behind 3 phones, 2 of which, the cheaper models, they smashed beyond use, and the third was left locked. In any investigation is done competently, the FBI would try to get access to that phone. It's important that it's a live, ongoing terrorism investigation, but in any criminal investigation, a competent investigator would try and use all lawful tools to get access to that device. And that's what you see happening in San Bernardino. The San Bernardino case is about that case. It obviously highlights the broader issue, and of course it'll be looked upon by other judges and other litigants, but it is about the case and trying to do a competent job of understanding, is there somebody else? And are there clues to what else might have gone on here? That is our job. The fifth thing I believe is that democracies resolve these kind of really hard questions through robust debate. I think the FBI's job is very, very limited. We have 2 jobs. The first is to investigate cases like San Bernardino and to use tools that are lawful and appropriate. The second thing, it's our job to tell the American people the tools you are counting on us to use to keep you safe are becoming less and less effective. It is not our job to tell the American people how to resolve that problem. The FBI is not some alien force imposed upon America from Mars. We are owned by the American people. We only use the tools that are given to us under the law. And so our job is simply to tell people there is a problem. Everybody should care about it. Everybody should want to understand if there are warrant-proof spaces in American life, what does that mean? And what are the costs of that, and how do we think about that? I don't know what the answer is. It may be the American people, through Congress and the courts, decide it's too hard to solve, or law enforcement can do its job well enough with strong encryption, covering our communications and our papers and effects, or that it's something that we have to find a way to fix to achieve a better balance. I don't know. My job is to try to offer thoughtful explanations about the tools the FBI has and to bring them to the attention of the American people and then answer questions about that. So I'm very, very grateful for this forum, very, very grateful for this conversation. There are no demons in this debate. The companies are not evil, the government's not evil. You have a whole lot of good people who see the world through different lenses, who care about things, all care about the same things in my view. The companies care about public safety. The FBI cares about innovation and privacy. We devote our lives to trying to stop people from stealing our innovation, our secrets, and hacking into our devices. We care about the same things, which should make this, in a way, an easier conversation, which I very much look forward to. Thank you.